In this episode of Summer with Mom, we finally take the camper van to South Dakota so Mom can travel the Badlands, see the Black Hills, visit Crazy Horse, and see the presidents at Mount Rushmore. This video is sponsored by Storyteller Overland. Live free, explore endlessly, and tell better stories. We finally made it to South Dakota, the state that Mom has been looking forward to exploring the most on this summer camper van road trip. Since the world's only Corn Palace was right off Interstate 90, we had to make the stop. And it's a good thing we did, because there was a carnival going on complete with kettle corn. Unfortunately, there was an event going on at the palace, which meant we couldn't go inside without a ticket. So we popped into a few of the shops, which were filled with all types of corn products. Charlie even managed to sniff out some dog treats. The Corn Palace was closed to the public. They have a private event tonight, so we couldn't go in. We just got to see the outside and the carnival. Come on, Charlie. We can come back. I know. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there you go. Good girl. Kate found a campground not too far from the Corn Palace, and we were able to get a primitive tent site with a nice view of Lake Mitchell. The self-pay station made it easy to pay for our campsite. All that was left to do was relax and unwind for the evening. Since the mosquitoes were out in full force, Kate hung out inside the camper, protected by the bug screens. For some reason, the mosquitoes don't bother my mom, so she and Charlie enjoyed lounging outside and watching the sunset. That's quite the view you have. We got an early start the next morning since there were quite a few stops we wanted to make on the way to Rapid City. First stop was the Mitchell Prehistoric Indian Village, which my mom was very interested in, and Charlie even got to come along for the whole experience. We started at the museum, which included a guide who explained the innovative hunting tools, agricultural techniques, and shelter construction that were used over 1,000 years ago. And seeing the archaeological site was definitely one of the highlights of the experience for me. Next stop on the list was the South Dakota Tractor Museum. There were several barns filled with tractors and farm machinery by companies like John Deere, Farmall, Oliver, Cub Cadet, and a few brands I've never even heard of. There was even a farmhouse-style kitchen setup, which gave us a few ideas for our future property. All right, well, back on the road. My mom's waiting for us. She's not big into tractors like we are. After the Tractor Museum, we stopped in at the Chamberlain Rest Area to see the Dignity statue. This stainless steel sculpture is 50 feet tall and sits on a bluff overlooking the Missouri River. Nicknamed Big Muddy, the Missouri River is the longest river in North America at 2,341 miles in length and joins the Mississippi River in St. Louis. Of course, we made a stop in Wall so Mom could see what Wall Drug was all about. And in case you're wondering, yes, there is a drugstore at Wall Drug. Oh, there it is, Western Art Gallery and Cafe. Proceed in this direction.
Look at this. A 1948 menu. Donuts, homemade, 5 cents.
How much do you think they are now?
$1.50, $2, who knows?
Mom's guess on the price was pretty spot on. The cost of her maple-flavored frosted donut was $2, plus she splurged for the 5-cent coffee.
Very good.
You got your 5-cent coffee and your donut.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I got a bargain on the coffee. Not bad.
Are you going to dip the donut?
Maybe.
Mom enjoyed the maple donut so much, she decided to buy a chocolate donut to see which one she preferred. Plus, she still had plenty of coffee left for dunking.
They're both so good, it's hard to choose. I guess if I could only have one. It depends what mood you're in today, chocolate or maple. They're both so good. I think I'd take the chocolate.
Well, there you have it. The chocolate donut is the way to go at Wall Drug. So my mom got a hotel around Rapid City for a couple nights. We're going to use that as a base while we go around and explore the area. Today is going to be pretty much mostly Badlands.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, since I was a little kid and I've been reading about the Badlands, it's very exciting to me.
Good.
I can't wait to get there.
Well, let's get going.
I'm ready.
After a quick stop at the Minuteman Missile National Historic Site, we drove Highway 240 south towards Badlands National Park to start our scenic loop drive. Mom was very excited to use her senior National Parks Pass again, which covered the $30 private vehicle entrance fee for the park. We decided to take our time going through the park and stop at every overlook so Mom could better appreciate the landscape and wildlife at Badlands. It turned out to be a perfect day for exploring, with temperatures in the mid-80s and a constant breeze. Even the bighorn sheep were enjoying the nice weather. This one was just relaxing near the start of a trailhead that we pulled over to check out. Considering we hadn't even made it to the visitor center and Mom already saw a bighorn sheep, her Badlands experience was off to a great start. Since we were nearing the end of our 10-week road trip, Mom switched to gift buying mode and picked up a few presents inside the visitor center. It's a good thing we all packed light for this summer adventure. For the kids?
They're beautiful books.
Nice.
Just beautiful look.
There was a lot to explore at Badlands National Park, including trails and scenic overlooks with interpretive signs to help us better understand the scenery unfolding in front of our eyes. Of course, we couldn't visit the Badlands without taking Mom to see the prairie dogs. Bison and black-footed ferrets also call the Badlands home, but we didn't get to see them during this trip. Mom was ready for her afternoon cup of coffee before we continued on our Badlands loop. It ended up taking us nearly 4 hours to finish the North Unit Scenic Drive, and we received a proper farewell from the sheep as we exited the park. Did the Badlands live up to your imagination?
So much so that I had to play the song Pure Imagination. Yes. Yes, and even more so. I'm just trying to imagine the horses going through, all of the buffalo throughout. Ah, wonderful.
Well, there's still a lot of South Dakota to see, so we've got more to come.
Thank goodness.
As we made the hour-long drive back towards Mom's hotel, we decided to stop in Rapid City to have dinner and visit with the different presidential statues. Since we didn't have a reservation at Tally's Silver Spoon, we were able to sit at the bar and enjoyed a scrumptious meal of shrimp and oyster ceviche to start. Mom and I each ordered the soup of the day, which was a creamy coconut-based soup with red peppers and bok choy. Kate and I ordered the bison linguine along with the bison burger to share. Both were very good, but our favorite was the pasta, which, according to the bartender, is one of the most popular dishes on the menu. And since watermelon ice cream was on the dessert menu, you know Kate had to order a scoop, and it even came with candy seeds. That was good. Might have to go back again.
I think where we ended up for dinner was great. The atmosphere, the food. You all had bison. I did not, but I had a delicious burger.
We took Charlie for a post-dinner stroll around the main downtown area so we could walk off our meal and check out the shops. Charlie enjoyed Rapid City so much, she didn't want to get back in the van when we were all ready to turn in for the evening. It took several attempts to get her to load up, but eventually she complied and was rewarded with a special treat from Kate. Is that bison?
Maybe.
After a long day of exploring and driving, we were all worn out and ready to head to Mom's hotel. Kate, Charlie, and I slept in the hotel parking lot while Mom spent the night in her room. I got Mom's coffee started while we waited for her to head downstairs, and Miss Charlie waited patiently for her breakfast. Today was all about exploring the Black Hills of South Dakota and taking Mom to see Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. The drive towards the parking area for Crazy Horse Memorial was beautiful, with a straight-on view of the unfinished mountain carving that began in 1948. Mom had been reading up on Crazy Horse throughout our trip, and seeing this memorial in person meant a lot to her.
Thank you. I'm really glad we came here. How about you? What did you think?
It was a lot of fun. It was very interesting.
Yes, I learned more than I had known, and I thought I had known quite a bit. Well, I do know quite a bit, but I learned a little bit more.
So modest.
No, I read a lot about it. There's a documentary about the settling of the West, and they get into a lot on the Indian tribes and what happened. It's fascinating, and this brings it so much to life.
We all enjoyed the scenic drive to Mount Rushmore, especially the one-lane winding drive among the trees and the 10'9" tunnel that Kate had to get out of the van just to make sure we could clear it without taking off the top of the air conditioner. Luckily, we had plenty of clearance and were rewarded by an incredible view of the presidents carved into the mountain. Next time, we'll have to clean the windshield so we can see more clearly. Mount Rushmore National Memorial is a very well-known park that features 4 U.S. presidents carved into the granite face of Mount Rushmore. Each presidential head is 60 feet high and in the order of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln from left to right. There are many great views of the presidents throughout the park, and some of our favorites were on the Presidential Trail.
It is so much better than in pictures. I said, I've been having goosebumps throughout this trip, but these days in the Black Hills, look at that. I mean, it's just so different.
Well, I'm glad we were able to bring you.
Oh, God, me. You're glad.
This crazy horse and the whole area has been the thing you've been talking about most this whole trip. You ready to head on out to Yellowstone?
I hate to leave. Yes, I want to see Yellowstone so much, but I just hate to leave. I'm really, this is some incredible what they did here. I just watched a movie in there on how they went about building it, and they did 90% of it with dynamite, and then the sculptor went in, but then he had all of the stone people and that working on it. Unbelievable.
Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Summer with Mom. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.